All right, hello everyone. You've got us here, conversations with moi, Bobbi Jo, and my good friend, other way, Sheena Kantar right here. And we were just talking.
That's so
Sheena
funny.
has,
You must be on the other side of the screen because you pointed away from me. So it's just like, I don't know, whichever way she is, that way.
oh, you're that way. To me, all right. Stuff, you guys. So Sheena and I were just talking. Sheena's helping out a friend right now, and she was like, whew, I'm exhausted. So I was like, this is a great story to talk about, but what our stories are. So what do we tell ourselves? Because if you've been listening to us, we talk about how we're 99% energy. We have energy. And the other thing is, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon for me here, 2:34, and it's like 8:30 for Sheena. So I love it. You're not seeing me in my morning face. I'm hype, I'm happy, I'm hyper, I'm ready to go. And so our stories, what are the stories we tell ourselves? Well, we have so much energy, then why is it that we have this belief that, oh, we had a hard day, I'm exhausted, and we keep saying it over and over. So Sheena, you jump in anytime. But what I was saying to Sheena is I just had a friend over here and she's in her 70s, and I was telling her I was having a little laser surgery done on the inside of my right knee because it's bugging me. And she said, yeah, you know what's funny, when you're in your 50s you start to have all these old aches and pains show up from previous hurts or accidents. And so this is why it's hard for me, and maybe Sheena too, it's hard for us to like have conversations with people because people tend to want to talk about the negative, because then all of a sudden my body being in the 50s was like, what, I have pain, what, I should have shoulder that had been in my 20s. Should that be bothering me? No, do not listen to her, body. Right? So we're the one in control. No, I'm going off right now. I'm sorry. You're just like,
No, 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 it's good. It's good. I mean, that's what Bob Proctor would
so
actually
that's
tell us. He would say, you are energy. So it's not that you have energy, you are the energy. And science has proven that we're literally light. I mean, there's the atom, and then they went into the atom, and all they found was light and energy, and that's it. So we are energy. And if we think that we're just, mere humans, then we're worth about $37. But actually, it works out that we're worth about, I think, it works out in today's value about $240 billion that we're actually worth. Before, 30 years ago it was 85 billion. So now it's this. And it's like, are we treating ourselves like that? So what tends to be exhausted is our mind, because our body is in the mind. We are not the body, we're not the thoughts, we're not the emotion. And so if everything's going on in our mind, it's our mind that has to change. But there are times, I guess, whenever it's about honoring the body and honoring the story. So we do get to, if you're going to like run and run and run and run and run, you're going to like run out of energy, because you're like a spiritual being having a human experience. And so you're here. I said it yesterday. I was on a train yesterday, and I said, shh, I'm an infinite intelligence having a infinite intelligence having a finite experience. So that's why we do run out of energy. But I think a lot of people run out of it a lot quicker because, like you say, Bobbi Jo, the stories that you tell and anything that you say after I am, well, like
mm,
I am is like the computer code. I don't know if anybody remembers BBC Basic and did they ever program computers or whatever, but it was like go to, and then there would be an instruction after. Well, that's what the I am is. It's like I am basically means go to. And then if you keep repeating it, it's like a wee loop, and it just goes round and round and gives you what you want.
So the question is, what are your stories? So start having that awareness. That's a word I'll use every day here. You have the awareness of what your stories are. What are you saying to yourself when you get up in the morning? What are you saying when you talk to your best friend or your mother on the phone? And what is it that you're saying continuously? Don't we remember those days in our teenage years or our 20s before I became so enlightened, or so I thought. But that, even last week with Sheena, right? That you tend to tell the story over and over, and then tell that best friend and that best friend, and then your husband when he gets home, and then your mom on the phone before you go to bed. It's like, stop. Have the awareness, catch yourself. Are you creating or not? You're talking about what you don't want, and we're so good at that. I haven't figured out why we do that, but we're so good at it. I guess it is. That's the programming. So,
We like the drama, don't we? We like the
you
drama.
do.
If everything's all flat and good, it's just like, hang on a minute, something's wrong. It's all so good.
I know. Need something to stir up the pot. What's going
Yeah.
on?
Let's just stir it up. There's a movie called Bliss, and I loved it because the guy had realized that that there was a bliss that he could actually go to, and he wasn't this human experience, but he was playing this human experience. but he actually chose, she wanted him to stay in bliss, but he actually chose to go back to the human experience because we did choose to come here. We came to choose to, because he had a daughter and it was like, it was too perfect. And he wanted all this, like, to really understand who he was, because you didn't appreciate anything in bliss because you had it all. And now this was just like, you don't appreciate what you have sometimes until it's taken away.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I said to one of my clients this morning was, you cannot have your new story unless you let go of the old one. You cannot talk the two stories at the same time. So what I did, Bobbi Jo, was I'd be doing my affirmations in the morning, but then I would spend the rest of the day telling my old story, and as
Mhm.
not out loud, but in my own head. So don't be thinking just because you don't say it. If you say it in your head, and it's not fair. Why is this happening to me? It's not. It never goes my way. Blah blah blah. You just literally knocking the flipping affirmations that you did out the park. Like, it's, you may as well have planted a seed and then stamped all over the damn thing. So you cannot have your news story while you're still talking the last one. But what do people know as their story, Bobbi Jo? They're so attached. What I have found, people are so
Mm.
attached to the old story, thinking that is them, and they get annoyed if you tell them it's a story.
Oh,
And
they
it's about
do.
that detaching of that story and realizing you are a story, create a new one. Which one do you want? Write it down. We can stick to the damn thing,
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah. But you know what? There's so many different things about that I could have talked about a lot. Because like when we first started here, we didn't even really know what we wanted. We thought we wanted what someone else has until you can align with our authentic self, which I feel like you're finally here in year 4. I'm figuring it out or just finally owning it. So, you do it. It's like fake it till you make it, but you just have to have the awareness that you're doing your lists in the morning. And that's why gratitude. I was driving around today doing some stuff and I was like, you know what? I'm just grateful my car is running. I'm grateful I have AC. Well, it's in the 90s here. It's the 30s for you. It's like I'm just, it's just in the grateful for the red light to have a moment to breathe. Like, so it's part about like living authentically in each moment, in each breath, and dropping into the present, right? That's why they call it the gift. So with that, maybe I feel like we should talk about gratitude tomorrow, which is really today because Sheena is helping her friends. So we're gonna be in the same clothes, acting like it's a different day. Take two. But maybe we should talk about that. But it's like emptying the closet. If you want new clothes, you got to empty out the old ones. If you want a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a new lover, you got to make room for them in your life. If your
Yeah,
life is
yeah, you can't have two of them. We can.
what did you
Maybe,
say?
I don't know.
What'd you say?
You can't. You got to make room for the new lover, so you got to get rid of the old one before you can bring in the
Yeah.
new one. Or maybe you can have two at a time. I don't know, Bobbi Jo.
I'm married. I don't know. I just have one. Got married for the first time at 47 years old, so he's a keeper. And Bliss, that was the movie with Selma Hayek, huh? Huh.
Huh. Yeah,
Huh.
if that's her name, I can't remember. I just love that movie. It was just, and
You did.
people, it's amazing. Or like we were talking before about perception, but most people saw that movie as like mental health issues, and I never even noticed the mental health issues. All I saw was, oh my goodness, look, he's tapped into heaven. He's tapped into the bliss of who he is, but he's chosen the story, and it made me realize that we do choose our stories. We we wouldn't, no matter what you think you're going through, whenever you're going to look back in your time, you're going to go, look at all those moments that I was blessed,
Yeah.
and that's what I've done. I've looked back in my whole life and I just go, oh my goodness, like, look at, I've been completely and utterly blessed, and I'm so privileged.
I know, but in those times when we were feel like we were being blessed, right? Because we were in
Oh,
complaining mode or whatever. That said, what was the other movie that you need to watch? Um, and I didn't watch it. It looks crazy.
oh, was that everything, everywhere, all at once?
Yeah,
Is
that
that it?
one. I never did get to watch it. It's like, oh God, it's a brain twister.
Well, look, it looks like my, the internet's going in and out, so we'll stop this one here, and we'll see you next time. So remember
All
to
right.
book a call if anything is resonating with you. We'd love to have a chat, love to hear your visions and everything, and we'll see you next time.
Adios. Bye.